exactly. So it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Right, I'm here at Star Wars Fun Day. I'm here with Jonathan Cass. How are things with you?
Fantastic. This is my first signing, actually.
Really?
Yeah, first ever signing. So I'm loving Blackburn.
Yeah.
My first time in Blackburn as well.
Yeah.
People are so friendly. Had a great night last night.
Yes.
At the gala dinner.
Yeah.
It was lovely. Bit of entertainment as well. And I'm just having a thoroughly good day. And it's great to meet everybody. A lot of people have come from miles around,
Yes.
not just local. So I'm really happy that they've turned out, and I've met some lovely people.
And so, being your first signing, is it your first event or your first signing?
It's both, yeah.
Okay.
My first event and signing.
Yeah.
So
you've plumbed on a really good one, because this is known as being a great show.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
People tell me that I picked a good one to start on, because there's lots of families here today. So it's very family orientated.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing you've got going Rovers.
Yeah.
It's just a very relaxed atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
No one's pushing, no one's invading your personal space. Everyone's been very respectful. So, and there's some great characters. Some of the costumes here are amazing.
Yeah, always.
Really good.
Yeah. So when you've got the role in Andor, you just went to Hazel, very sort of similar thing. You were doing it for the work, but then this auxiliary thing when you're a Star Wars performer, that all of a sudden there's the opportunity to do events like this. Is this what you expected? How do you sort of feel about it?
I've always been a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I was 12 when the first one came out. So I've always loved Star Wars. Basically, it's because of my look.
Yeah.
I play a German officer.
Right.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the Indiana Jones film. It's about to be released next month. I play a German officer.
Yeah.
I played a German officer in Nazi megastructures, Hitler's Circle of Evil, a film called Allied with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I played it. That's the first time I ever played a German officer.
Right.
So I've got the look.
Yeah.
So basically, it kind of transfers over to being an Imperial officer.
Yeah.
So obviously they saw that I had this look, brought me in for the fitting.
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure because they gave it a code,
Right.
CIS.
Okay.
So I didn't quite know what I was. So when I turned up for the fitting, and they started dressing me in the tunic and joggers and boots.
This
It
makes
was
sense
like,
there.
okay, and I was trying to stay cool,
Yeah.
trying not to stand there grinning like an idiot because I'm getting dressed as an Imperial officer.
Yeah.
The guy dressing me, I know from a lot of other productions.
Right.
So I was chatting to him. I said, I'm not going to lie. I said, I'm really excited about this. And he said, I'm glad, because a lot of people turn up and they couldn't care less whether they
Yeah.
it. But no, this has definitely been a dream job, and to be on season 1 and potentially on season 2.
Potentially.
I can't give anything away.
No.
Potentially on season 2, it's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so when you're on set, you're in that amazing room with some phenomenal actors. How did that feel? Because there's so much important stuff happening in those sequences in season 1 and hopefully season 2, but certainly in season 1. So how was that kind of being in that room? And of course you're actors, so there's a lot going on, there's things happening, but it must have been pretty important, especially being a fan like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, when you step on set, that's when the professionalism kicks in. So you forget about all the excitement. You're just there, you want to do the best job you can. You listen to the director, because a lot of our stuff is reactional stuff to what's been talked about.
Yeah.
We rarely get to speak. If you do, it's quite special.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is understanding the scene, understanding the gravity of the scene, and then try and dictate your facial expressions and your mannerisms according to what's going on.
Yeah.
Hence, that's why I look like an angry man, because I'm not very happy. Because Andor is obviously doing, he's getting too big for his boots, and we need to control him.
Yeah.
And things aren't going our way at the minute. Especially in the scene I'm in season 1, episode 4, things aren't just going well at all. So so it's just channeling all that sort of energy, and just enjoying it. In between takes, it's very relaxed. But then as soon as obviously the director says action, you've got to be on the go.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, if you're smiling or looking in the wrong direction, then that'll cut. And you've ruined the scene. So you've got to stay in the scene.
Now my co-host just turned up, Mark. Hello. I know you'd like to ask some questions because obviously Jonathan's involved in some of the Bond stuff, and we've got a big Bond fan here. So hand over the microphone.
Oh, okay. This is rather important to you, isn't it? Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah,
I think from the back, you kind of look very much like Daniel Craig.
Right.
What role did you have with Bond films?
Well, basically, I was his stand-in in Jamaica for 3 weeks.
Nice.
So started off with availability, saying I'm available to stand in. They called it B25 then. They hadn't named it No Time to Die.
Right, yeah.
So I got an availability from my agent saying, can I go to a camera test at private to stand in for one of the main actors in B25?
Yeah.
And I kind of knew it was Bond.
Yeah.
Just worked it out. So I turned up. Basically, long story short, I got to fire the Walther PPK.
Nice. Yeah.
Down the camera lens. I got to fire a pump action shotgun and drive the DBS on a rolling road.
Oh, really?
And just spent all day just filming various different lighting setups.
Yeah.
And I walked away from that day thinking, if nothing else comes of this, I've just had the best day of my life.
Absolutely.
I've literally been bombed for the day. And then I got a call a couple of weeks later. I said, I'm available to go to Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I thought, let me just think about that for a second. So I went to Jamaica for 3 weeks and filmed. It wasn't a holiday. It wasn't as relaxed as you'd like to think. We had a couple of days off.
Yeah.
But it was a very intense filming schedule. It was quite humid, hot. But it was an amazing experience.
Was that your first time to Jamaica then?
I've been to Jamaica before. I used to fly for British Airways.
Right.
So I've been to Jamaica quite a lot, but it's not been for any length of time really. It's only been for a couple of nights and we had to fly back. So I got to see obviously just the locations, Frenchman's Cove, and also Banana Wharf. I got to see a lot more Jamaica. And where they built this villa was absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful place. In fact, the boat they use, the Happenstance, is it Happenstance? The name of the boat?
I think it is. Yeah.
It was actually the cove was so shallow to get the boat into the cove. They had to literally tip it on the side. And this is a multi-million pound boat that they borrowed. So you can imagine they were.
They're a bit nervous about it.
People sweating about making the tiniest mark.
And nothing to do with the humidity either. Yes.
No, exactly. No.
So were you on set with Daniel, or was it literally just like when you were on set, there wasn't any other cast around and you were just doing like a reverse shots?
No, Daniel was there.
Yeah.
So I would basically set up I watched the rehearsals. The director, there's a rehearsal with the director, and then they do a crew rehearsal.
Yeah.
So that's when I come in. I take a note of the dialogue, where he is when he says his dialogue, what actions he does, and then he'll go back to his trailer, my air-conditioned trailer, and then they'll do all the setting up, they'll do the lighting, I'll run through the actions. A lot of the time I was expected to learn the dialogue as well, so I had to quickly learn the dialogue in the morning. Luckily I'm quite quick at learning lines. And then Danny would come in, basically they would show him what I did, because they would tweak it slightly, they would show him what I did, and then he'd come in and copy what I did. And that's basically how the 3 weeks went. So
really, it was Daniel copying you rather than the other way around.
Kind of. I mean, I saw the rehearsals, but I basically, because I learned the dialogue, and I was having to do it to camera, and I was getting directed from Carrie from Banana. I was literally felt like I was drunk. So, and it was a wonderful experience, and something I look back on. It was very hard, something I look back on with fondness, actually.
And so how does that kind of compare? You've been on Bond 25, which is a massive multi-million-dollar film, and also then you move on to like Andor as well. So was it? Do you find it was a similar kind of stress level and
stress level wasn't as much because when you're a stand-in, You've got to be there. So when the director says turning round or moving on, you've got to be there because it's such a tight schedule, especially 3 weeks in Jamaica. They couldn't afford to run over, so you have to be there. So there's a lot more pressure when you're standing in. But when I'm a supporting artist, and virtually no pressure at all. If they give you some dialogue, yes, there's a bit more pressure, but it's not as stressful as my job. Both, I enjoy both as much. I'm also in the Indiana Jones film that's coming out in June, playing German officer again.
Okay. So, which similarities and crossovers there?
Blue eyes, blonde hair, and the bone structure. My mum did it. So, some more exciting projects coming. The film industry in this country is absolutely, I think it's the best country in the entire world. And there's studios opening up all over the place. Everybody wants to film here. So,
it's an exciting time to be in the industry.
It's very, very exciting, and it's literally having to pick what job I want to do, because there's so much coming in. Because I don't want to take a job and then something like this comes up and I'm busy on something else. So I'm very picky about what I say yes to, because I try and, of course, I do need the money, but I do it more firstly for the experience, and then the money comes second. I just love the whole thing about being on set of the film industry. It's just,
So you're hoping to have a new Bond whenever it gets announced? It's going to have blonde hair, yeah?
Well, no, because I'm too old now. Because I think that the next Bond has got to be early 30s, mid 30s. Because if they're going to do another 5-film deal, I mean, Daniel Craig is 51 on his last. So my next aim, I'm going to put it out to the universe now, Bond baddie. I want to be on
there's kind of double, I think, for like Stellan Skarsgård on Andor. So there's a chance you could do that as well. So.
I think I definitely, that's on my, I never wanted to be a stormtrooper, I wanted to be an Imperial officer. So I've done that now. I never wanted to be Bond, but I wanted to be Bond. So that is that's my next thing.
There we go. Cool, well, watch this space.
Watch this space. Hopefully, put it out to the universe.
Jonathan, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.